Outside of corporate heads at Netflix, I don't think anybody thought it was a good idea to give Greta Gerwig, okay, feminist icon, the keys to the C.S. Lewis castle for an adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia. She is she is right close to the bottom of creatives that I would pick to adapt that very incredibly foundational source material. Especially, it's going to be the second big budget attempt, and the first one, like, if Disney couldn't even do it with their endless pocketbook where they had to give up after 3 movies, why would you think Netflix would be able to get away with it? Especially when you have, the Barbie scribe in charge of this. Especially noting all the themes that are at play, and it is so diametrically opposed to the rest of her work. It's like, it's gonna be bad, isn't it? And yeah, we've been following this along for a while, the different casting rumors and rumors that ended up becoming fact, and how this has just been an absolute nightmare behind the scenes. And lo and behold, like a lot of those cringe casting rumors, like a gender-swapped Aslan, looks like a lot of that mismanagement behind the scenes is also boring out to be true. But yes, Greta Gerwig, fresh off momentous Barbie success. That was back in 2023. What have you been doing with your time? And is getting back to a project she is already working on. So she's been working on this for 5 years? Or the better part of a half decade at least, right? Gerwig, yes, had already started writing a draft of her upcoming adaptation of C.S. Lewis's, Narnia stories before even beginning the filming of Barbie. Okay, she told Time magazine in a February 21st profile. Okay, the project was first revealed in July of 2023. So, yeah, she's been working on this for 3 or 4 years, right? Gerwig making at least 2 movies in the series. Slowly but surely, details about the series, including which Barbie is reportedly joining the cast as the White Witch, oh god, are eking out about the next entry of the great battle for fantasy. One that Hollywood is so spectacularly losing. Like, you got Amazon canceling The Wheel of Time, and after season 3 of The Rings of Power, oh boy, I don't see that thing having a future. What about The Witcher season 4? Has anybody heard anything about, the lesser Hemsworth taking up the mantle for Henry Cavill to, finish that off on a high note? I haven't heard a damn thing about that. And what else? Oh, right, yeah. George R. R. Martin's fat-ass's suite of series. Not a goddamn thing we've heard about season 3 of House of the Dragon, and the only thing that we have heard about A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is it got delayed to the beginning of next year. So, yeah, it's the great battle of fantasy that, I don't know, is being settled kind of the way of the Shogun by seppuku. So far, Greta, looks to be winning, really, after convincing Netflix to show the film on IMAX screens. When fighting in the streaming wars, it's always good to have a resurrected lion Jesus. I hate all this shit. Especially one that might be played by Meryl Streep. Yeah, we've heard that casually confirmed, I think in an offhanded remark. I did a video about it when it ended up happening. I can't quite remember anything, but yeah, Witch of Chronicles of Narnia. Apparently everything is starting out with Magician's Nephew, right? So canonically the first and the 6th book release historically, okay? And then, she will very likely be following that up with, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe afterwards, right? Okay, so per the Hollywood Reporter, Gerwig is tackling The Magician's Nephew, still the original series release pattern, issued, chronological order. First put out The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 1950, continued, chronological installments in 51 and 53 with The Horse and His Boy, The Magician's Nephew, and then The Last Battle in 1956. Yeah, you forgot The Silver Chair, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. God, am I missing one? I might be, but it doesn't really much matter. They're never going to get that far into this because, well, we kind of know. So what do we know, right? Okay, Greta Gerwig told Time she is drawn to the paradox of worlds that Lewis created. It's not really a paradox of worlds. It's a pretty simple religious allegory that is very well written, very well respected, and it's honestly difficult to adapt source material, but with all the technological breakthroughs that we had, it's not impossible anymore. It's just when you hand it to idiots like Greta Gerwig, who would just much rather, suck on her pencil instead of write with it, it's going to be a problem, okay? Ted Sarandos, meanwhile, told the magazine that Gerwig's vision of the story will be bigger and bolder than what audiences imagine. Oh, God. Lewis's version of the story is deeply associated with Christianity to the point where talking Narnia to your neighbors is a real 2005 headline from the evangelized website Today's Christian Woman. Great. In terms of adaptation, Stuber confirmed. Who's Stuber? Who are we talking about? That must have been the interviewer for Variety. Okay. In his November interview, yeah, okay, the Gerwig's version is rooted in faith. I believe you, because Amy Pascal, who was in charge of this at one point in time, fucking kill me, said this was going to be a very rock and roll take on C.S. Lewis. Anyways, previous examples of Gerwig's work as being informed by Christianity include Ladybird eating non-blessed communion wafers, Ladybird getting suspended for sassing a pro-life activist, and Barbie killing God. The exact person that you want in charge of Narnia, right? But yes, who's in the cast? White Witch will, apparently be Emma Mackey. We've heard about the Meryl Streep, quote-unquote, rumors before. I think Daniel Craig was also being tapped to be Mr. Tumnus. World of Real mentioned. Okay, Natalie Portman, Daisy Ridley. Oh, Christ, Brie Larson. Oh, fuck right off, man. Oh, but the big ting here is, okay, so Greta Gerwig's first movie is set to hit IMAX screens, which apparently she lobbied so very passionately for, on Thanksgiving 2026. That's a pretty firm release date, hey, especially for your first movie. And honestly, like, we've heard a bunch of different a bunch of different interviews from Gerwig and the people working on this project. And this one, it came out back in April of this year. And, well, honestly, haven't really heard anything else about that outside of just, some rumors of some trouble behind the scenes. And lo and behold, Greta Gerwig's Netflix and Narnia movie with gender-swapped Aslan delays filming, casting doubt on 2026 release. Oh, shit. Yeah, imagine that. You hand it to a woman and she fucking scuttles the production process. Big shock on that one, huh? A highly controversial return of C.S. Lewis's fantastical world has hit another snag. Netflix's Narnia filming plans have reportedly been pushed back despite earlier promises of a summer start. According to Screen Daily, production of Greta Gerwig's The Magician's Nephew, the first of Netflix's ambitious new adaptations, is now expected to begin in the autumn rather than July as originally scheduled. Producer Amy Pascal, who previously declared with confidence that cameras would roll this summer, probably just got out of her box wine long enough to just mutter something incoherent into a microphone and for people to just clap and applaud her because, oh, she brought Spider-Man to the screen for Sony. We should give her reverence for that. Yeah, well, this bitch is also going to be responsible for a fucking black James Bond over at Amazon. Anyways, casting call, seeking child actors, even specified availability through from June through December, fueling speculation that production was locked in. The fans closely following the reboot, particularly the dedicated sleuths over at Narnia Web, who are very, very, very critical of Greta Gerwig for very good reasons, have noticed growing signs that not all is well in the wardrobe, which is where these ideas probably should have stayed. This delay, though not officially labeled a crisis, poses a significant threat to Netflix's already tight timeline. Current plans for The Magician's Nephew to premiere in theaters via IMAX in November of 2026. Yes, Netflix's first experiment with traditional theatrical windows before bringing the film to streaming just in time for Christmas. Yeah, perfect. And honestly, like, the source material very much lends itself appropriately to that time frame. It's just, the obvious reasons that we've gone over ad nauseum. But a 7-month filming schedule, and especially with something that's going to be so CGI heavy, means every month counts and the clock is ticking. The delay isn't the only reason, that fans are concerned. Greta Gerwig's take on Narnia has always sparked a major controversy over rumors. He has changed one of the most central and sacred characters of C.S. Lewis's literary canon, the Great Lion Aslan. The casting has been confirmed by casting hasn't been confirmed by Netflix. Rumors persist that Meryl Streep has been tapped to play the lion, a move, if true, would effectively gender swap Aslan. And for as many people that are just butthurt still about the female Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four, this one's far more egregious, okay? Because Aslan's like God. Can't gender swap God, bro. I don't know what to tell you. That shit's fucking lame. Don't get me wrong, both are bad, both are cringe, but one's a little bit worse than the other. But honestly, man, Netflix, you should have been able to see this coming from a mile away. Like, why on earth? Okay, I can understand, right, from the outside looking in, why you would think, Greta Gerwig, she was responsible for the biggest film in 2023, whatever, man. Okay, so they wanted to bring that success as somebody who, packed theaters, packed IMAX screens back in the cut with a Barbie movie. Well, with an unlimited budget and with, source material ripe for adaptation, I mean, like, she's got to be able to, spin gold once again. But then you realize that, oh shit, she's a feminist hack who fundamentally despises religion. Oh, she's also a ghostwriter on the Snow White live action remake. Funny how she was talking about her retroactive involvement. I just wrote a couple of jokes. I was only there for a minute, but she was one of the first names announced when that project went into production back in 2022. Did videos on that as well, so there's no way that she can hide from that failure. She was responsible for that atrocious script, so why do you think any better care and attention would be given to such legendary material right here? But hey man, this is Netflix. Right now they're still riding high, okay? Squid Game Season 3 just came out, and as it sits right now, not too many people are talking about it, but apparently people are watching it in droves. It's the best performing it's Season 3, or at least just, I think it's also like the best performing new show that's out there. Something like 60 million minutes watched in the first day or so. It's been an absolute triumph, okay, to just borrow a tired phrase, ironically. But yeah, Netflix won the streaming war. And now they want to try to break into theaters and add a premium air to some of their otherwise banal originals that, pop a rating for a week and then are just resigned to the dustbin of history on their streaming service. This was probably the right project to do that with, especially with everything else that they have at their disposal at the moment. But yeah, this was the perfect storm of failure, and you did it to yourself. And once again, we are going to be robbed. Us fans of the source material, we're going to be robbed of a competent adaptation. And at this point in time, just fucking leave all of these books alone. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.